happy Sunday. How are you all doing? Can anybody hear me? Hello, Lance and Housings TV. Hi, Akigbe Friday, Akinola. How are you all doing? It's so good to have you all back here since our last webinar where we talked about how to build generational wealth even using real estate. Now, today we're going to be talking about something really exciting. Jointly has gone back to our drawing boards and we want to onboard you into all of the exciting things that we have coming up even on the platform jointly so that you can be able to build real estate without putting a hole in your pocket. And we are having someone really special as our guest today, the person of our CEO, who is going to take us through this product and investment roadmap. And is already here, ready to dazzle each and every one of us with what it is that Jointly has on board. So I want us to use should I call it a clap innovation, use the drums, use the emojis to welcome our CEO even on board, even as he takes us through this roadmap. I can't see your emojis. You're not excited to be here. Okay, hi, Friday. You can now hear me. Okay. Emojis are coming in. That's nice. So, going to be adding him to stage now. Hi, Mr. Alisa.
Hi TJ, how you doing?
I'm very well. Good afternoon. How are you doing?
Very well, thank you.
Okay, so it's so nice to be having you today on our stage. And on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you to be here?
I'm very excited. I'll say 12 because
Oh,
it's like
12.
we are going to be telling our users and our investors what we'll be doing over the next 6 months. So it's like everything we've been working on, we're about to reveal. So yes, I'm very excited.
We are also excited to have you because even me, I can't wait to see what it is that we have on board. As you can see, I'm here with my jointly shirts, ready to learn, ready to see, ready to.
Yeah, I can see
So
that.
here's our CEO, Mr. Olisa Omera, and I would want him to do a quick introduction of himself, tell us about himself, and even why he thought about the product jointly and why jointly is running and buzzing and even live today.
Okay, so I'm just going to go straight into it quickly. My name is Olisa Omera. I am the founder of Jointly. Some persons who are here know me already. Um, we launched jointly. We did a soft launch in September 2022, and then after then we started working on a whole lot of things. Now, the whole idea of jointly came about when thought of investing in real estate in 2017. I wanted to buy a two-bedroom apartment. But I wanted to know how easy it was going to be for me to buy it. I didn't have the whole 40 billion naira that I was supposed to spend on that two-bedroom apartment. But I wanted to know if it was possible for me to, spread payments for a very long period. But the highest payment plan I got was 12 months, and for 6 months, or 6 months and 12 months. 6 months, I had to pay up the entire 40 million in 6 months. Or 12 months, they were going to add some interest, to the price. So I couldn't afford it. Mortgages were not possible, and if I decided to save to acquire that two-bedroom apartment, by the time I'll be done saving, the cost of the two-bedroom would have gone up. And so, you know, um, it was practically impossible for me, a young person at the time, to acquire that two-bedroom apartment. So I started to think to myself, what if it was possible to acquire just a part of this two-bedroom apartment, since what I was looking for was an investment, and then I could earn rent, from it for life. And then I just started thinking if I could keep buying shares in properties like that. Even if I earn 10% of these properties, if I had over 1,000 of them, I will be earning over 100 million naira. If the properties were earning rent of 1 million naira, per year. And that was how the whole idea of journey came up, right? But we didn't do anything in 2017 because I didn't know how to go about it. But getting into the real estate industry, doing a whole lot of things in marketing, sales, development, and taking a master's degree in real estate, opened my eyes to how we could achieve this. And now, we jointly, what we are doing is we are trying to help Africans build wealth, using real estate as a vehicle. So I'm just going to go straight into it so that we don't waste your time. Um, I can't see any reactions because I am here. I think TJ can see the reactions, but I will just go straight into it. Anyways, please, I just want to confirm that you can see me and you can see my slides.
I can see you, I can hear you, but I am yet to see your slides. And I think it's same for the
You can
rest
see my
of
slide
us.
now.
No, it's still just your face that's showing.
Now,
Okay, yes, it is on.
all right. Thank you very much. So today we are going to be talking about the Jointly product and investment roadmap for the next 6 months. And I just said the whole story of Jointly, how we came about Jointly. You see, in 2022 September, when we launched Jointly, what we wanted was a platform that people could use to co-own real estate, and earn rents for life. But going back, we thought about the whole thing after we launched. We thought about the whole thing and said, co-owning real estate is just one thing. The end goal for people is to actually build wealth, right? So you could co-own real estate and you don't actually end up building wealth. But how about you co-own real estate with the intention of building wealth? And so we began to design our product jointly, to help people build wealth. And we'll be showing you how we intend to do that over the next, 20 to 30 minutes. First of all, sorry for that. First of all, I said already that we want to build wealth for Africans through real estate. And we believe that our investors should decide our products because at the end of the day, we are building jointly not for the jointly management, not for myself, not for the persons who are building it. We are building jointly for the end users. We are building jointly for Africans and Nigerians. We are building jointly for the users, the investors. So this whole roadmap that we are presenting is to let you know what we intend to do and also get you to involve yourself, right? So that we can, at the end of the day, build something that is worthwhile for you. So I will show you the content of this presentation so you know where we are going to end. We are going to look at the past 1 year, what we've been doing. We are going to look at our product updates and upcoming features, what to expect in the next 6 months, our investment strategy, new properties that will be live this September, Q&A, which is we are going to be taking your questions and then we are going to be hearing from you. We want you to tell us where should we focus, where should our focus be, where do you want us to focus. So I'm going to go right into it. What have we been up to for the past 1 year? You see, in the past 1 year, we launched only one property, and that property was launched in September 2022. We didn't go ahead to develop that property because we had, some setback, which we have worked on. And right now, I can tell you for a fact that we are ready to go. Like we are ready to sprint. This marathon has started, right? So besides launching one property, what we also did was that we've been taking feedback from investors, from users, from partners, from everyone we can take feedback from, and that has helped us improve our platform. That has helped us, bring some updates that we'll be showing you today. We've also been doing a lot of market research, a lot of market research that has informed us on the kind of properties we should launch on this platform, price per property share, the markets that we should be looking at, and the other features that we should add on this platform that would help us achieve our goal of helping Africans build wealth. And then we have been making some product updates, as you would see today. So let's look at some of the updates and upcoming features that you'll be seeing on Jointly in the nearest future. First of all, when we launch Jointly, so for those who do not understand yet, Jointly is a fractional investment company. So we allow you buy real estate in fractions. So instead of spending 60 million naira on a 2-bedroom apartment, we take that 2-bedroom apartment and tokenize it, right? So we divide it into fractions. So let's say we divide a 2-bedroom apartment into 10,000 fractions, and the 2-bedroom apartment is supposed to sell for 60 million naira. What it means is that this 2-bedroom apartment that is supposed to sell for 60 million naira, right, divided into 10,000 fractions, will now sell at 6,000 naira per fraction, right? So you can buy as many fractions as you want. You can keep buying until you buy 5% or 10% or 20% of that property. It is one way to earn rent, for the rest of your life without breaking the bank. It is also another way to own properties to yourself. For instance, you could buy up, say, 2% of the property while it's, on sale for the first time. And then you could also target that whenever someone wants to sell their shares in the property, you buy, those shares. That way, in 4 years, 5 years, 6 years, or a number of years, you could own one whole property to yourself if you want that. So those fractions in these properties, when we launched, we used to call them slots, but now, we have changed that and we call them property shares, because we believe that, that is going to be more understandable for our users. Secondly, when we launched Jointly in 2022, the minimum price per property share was, I think then we were selling each share for 235,000 naira, right? And we also, our marketing message was that, you can invest in real estate for 500,000 naira or less, But after doing a lot of market research, we decided that, okay, you know what? Let us reduce the price per property share so that we'll accommodate, everyone who wants to get involved in real estate, because at the end of the day, that is what we are saying that we want to do. So the minimum price per property share is now $10, on the platform, or the equivalent in naira. So if it's a naira property, you should be expecting, price per property share to be around 10,000 naira, 9,000 naira, thereabout. But if it is a dollar property, it is going to be, minimum of $10 per property share. Another update that will be coming soon are USD properties that are available in US dollars, because at the end of the day, we want to also protect our investments against against currency devaluation. So while earning rent, while getting profits, while building your portfolio, you also want to protect your portfolio. So yes, we are going to be launching USD properties, and we are already working on some of these properties. We are going to be launching what we call an acquisition fund, but the name of this acquisition fund is called Clubs. Now, the idea behind this is this. As you will see later in this presentation, there are different ways we acquire properties. One of them is the off-plan, strategy. Another one is the, outright purchase. But you see, let's imagine a property of 80 million naira now. We want to purchase this property and put it on the platform. The property is built. What happens is that we cannot afford to spread payment on this property for over, say, maybe 1 year, 2 years, and all that, because the real estate developer wants the money like quickly, right? So the best we might get is 3 months, 6 months, and we are not sure that will be enough time for us to raise the money for this property. So what did we decide to do? We said we are going to set up clubs which would help with the acquisition of properties. So members of this club, would contribute to a fund, and this fund will be used to acquire properties. These properties that are acquired will then be listed on Jointly, where users and investors can now purchase shares in these properties. Now, these shares that are purchased, investors now own these shares in the properties, and then the money that was used to buy the property is returned to the club with some interest. So members of the clubs are going to be earning, interest besides, owning shares in properties. When we launch that, we are going to have a webinar where we are going to explain exactly how this works. We're also going to be adding features that allow you set financial goals, and then build your assets to achieve them. We're also going to allow you manage and compound your investments, because at the end of the day, you are not investing just because you want to live hand to mouth. You are investing because you want to build your assets. You are investing because you have financial goals. So what we want you to do is give you an opportunity to earn rent and reinvest this rent if you want to. Give you an opportunity to manage your investments, right? Sell shares that you want to sell, buy shares in properties that you want to buy. Give you an opportunity to set financial goals and build your assets to meet these financial goals. Another feature we are going to be launching, in the nearest future is what I call a transparency feature. So it's a transparency feature. So it's basically like a tool that can help you track property revenue and expenses. So let's say, for instance, you invest in a property and that property is already on the market earning rent, right? The rent that comes from the property is the revenue, right? But then what happens to all the services, all the expenses? You also want to see how much is being spent to manage this property. That tool is going to be showing you that. How much, is being paid on this property, the rent that comes in. You are also going to be monitoring that on using that tool. Then we are going to be introducing something very interesting, right? And we call that, advance, or in basic terms, they are loans. So this is the idea. Real estate is an asset that is, stable, that generates cash flow, and that people can use as collaterals to access loans. So if you buy a house, you are supposed to use that, you are supposed to be able to access loans using that house as a collateral. So what we are going to be introducing on Jointly is an opportunity for people who own assets on Jointly to access loans. So let's say the total amount of assets you own on Jointly is what, say maybe 2 million naira, right? You'll be able to access credits and loans, that are either up to or a part of the assets you own on Jointly, right? These loans are secured because the only people who can access them are people who already own assets on Jointly. Now, besides the collateralized loans which Jointly is going to be offering, we are going to be making we are going to be giving an opportunity to users to also grow their money using what we call a peer-to-peer loan feature. Now, this is how it works. You apply for a loan, right, on Jointly. You already own assets on Jointly, so, it's safe. But Jointly doesn't have the money to give to you, right? Jointly doesn't have the loan to give to you. So what do? We pass that onto the peer-to-peer market. So somebody who probably has some money left in their bank account that they are not using right now, right? And they want to grow it, say in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, thereabout. What happens is that we match you, who is asking for this loan, with the person who is requesting, to give loan, to give a loan, right? So you get the loan, the person gives the loan, while your assets, right, on Jointly are held in an escrow, so you don't have access to your assets, right? Those your assets are used as collaterals. Now, at the end of the credit period, what happens is that the person who gave you the loan gets back the money, because you are going to pay back the loan with some interest, some minimal interest, right? So the person gets to grow their money while you get to solve your problem and still keep your assets. Now, the reason we are going to hold your assets in an escrow is in case of a default, this person takes over your asset, or your asset basically will be liquidated and transferred to this person. We are still working around the dynamics for this feature, right? So when we launch this feature, you will see how it works. Yes, we are also going to be launching the secondary market, which is where you can buy and sell shares, in the nearest future. So if you buy shares, maybe worth 1 million naira, and you want to sell, say, part of it because it has appreciated, you can decide to sell part of it, at the price that you want. We will explain how this works when we launch it. Now, the next 6 months, what should we be expecting? First of all, we are going to be launching new products in the Nigerian market. You are going to be seeing 2 of those products today. We are going to be launching them, this September. You are going to be seeing them today. We are also looking at some other products within the Nigerian market as well. We are also going to be launching in the East African market. Currently, we are looking at Kigali, Nairobi, and Zanzibar. These markets give us an opportunity to invest in, holiday homes, vacation rentals, short-let apartments, and also residential properties that allow us to earn in USD. So the beautiful thing about the East African market is that you can invest in USD and also earn rent in USD, right? If you go to booking.com, Airbnb, and basically the internet, you will see these properties there. Yeah, so we are going to be launching in the East African market within the next 6 months. It might even be a lot, closer than 6 months. And that brings us to launching in USD properties. Launching USD properties, yes, I've talked about it already. So we are going to be starting with the East African market. Yes, we're also going to be launching version 1 of Clubs, which is the acquisition fund. We are going to be launching the first version, then we are going to test how it works, see, how people would appreciate it, and then we will decide if we are going to launch, new versions of that product. Then we'll be launching version 1 of Advance. Advance is the loan feature that we talked about. We are going to be launching both the feature that allows, investors to access loan from Jointly and the feature that allows, peer-to-peer loans. And we are going to be launching our referral program, our robust referral program within the next 6 months. Now, let's look at our investment strategy. I hope you are following me, because I basically can't see anyone. So here we are going to be looking at the type of asset classes that we're going to be investing in, our acquisition strategy, and our property management strategy. First of all, let's look at our asset classes. So because we are focused on properties that can give us medium to high yield rental income, we have decided to focus on some specific asset classes, and some of them include hospitality, which we are talking about, hotels, holiday homes, vacation rentals and things like that. Recreation, which also falls, this basically it's almost like it's intertwined with hospitality. But here we are talking about beach houses, holiday homes, vacation rentals and things like that. Then we're going to be looking at commercial. Commercial includes shops, co-working spaces, and things like that. Then we're also going to be looking at residential. However, for residential, we are going to be focusing on shortlets, co-living spaces, spaces that actually improve, the related experience for people and also give us, above the regular rental rates. And then we are going to be looking at land. However, for land, we are going to be doing 2 things. We are going to be looking at lands that we can acquire and resell, in a very short period, so people can earn, profits from those acquisitions and use them to invest in other cash flowing properties. We're also going to be acquiring lands for development. So, for instance, let's say our development partner, wants to develop a property, say an apart hotel, for instance, that will generate cash flow, right? We can come in and acquire this land, right, and then partner with our development partner, and then earn rent from these properties. Our acquisition strategy, we are looking at 3 things. First of all, is off-land purchases. Off-land purchases allow us to, it's more like a patient way to acquire real estate. Let's say a property is selling for 80 million naira, and we list that property on our platform. We can make a 10% down payment, a 20% down payment, and then it gives us time to, sell that property on the platform, gather the money over time, and pay for it small, while the property is being developed, It also allows us to buy at the beginning of the project, which is when the property is, least expensive, or when the property is really economically viable, right? So that's the off-plan strategy. The second strategy we are going to be using is the outright purchase strategy. And this is for properties that are already built. And this is like the major reason we are starting clubs. So let's say a property sells for 120 million naira, right? Or let's say $120,000. And then because we already have our funds that we have raised from clubs, instead of going to ask the real estate developer to sell the property to us and give us a long payment plan, we are going to say, hey, we are going to buy this property and we are going to pay outright, or max, we are going to pay over 3 months. Now, what this does for us is that it allows us buy this property and get a discount. So if you're selling for $120,000, you probably are going to give us a 5% discount or a 10% discount, because we are giving you cash outright. Now, it helps us buy the property below the current market rates, right? And that's why we are launching clubs. Then we're also going to be looking at project partnerships. So real estate developers who are building within the asset classes that we want to, own, we are going to be looking at their projects and we're going to be partnering with them on these projects. Now, if we partner with a real estate developer, we are going to be paid in either, project returns, or we are going to be paid in the number of apartments that will be given to us, or in the combination of the both of them, right? And these are our acquisition strategy. Now let's look at our property management strategy. We are looking at just two right now: self-management, which is properties that we manage ourselves using our processes and our tools. And these properties are properties that we control the services. Let's say we own 12 units of 2-bedroom apartments in one building, right? And we control the services, we control everything. We are going to manage those properties ourselves, right? However, we are also going to be buying apartments in properties where we don't control the services. And this is because, let's say in a particular development, there are 12 units and we have bought just 2. We can't control the services. So we are going to be using third-party management in these cases. And this third-party management, we are going to look out for properties that are designed for rental income. And not just rental income, properties that are designed for the kind of asset classes that we're looking at. So hospitality, recreation, commercial, like that, right? Short let and the rest of them. So we are going to be looking at these types of properties. So let's say you set up your system, right, to put out your properties for rent, as short lets, right? We are going to buy these properties from you, and then we are going to allow you manage them, take the cost of managing the properties, and give us our net revenue. So that's how the third-party management works. Now, let's look at the new properties that we'll be launching in this month, September. First of them is Autograph Lagos, right? This property is located in Lekki in Lagos State. And it's basically going to be replacing the property we have on our platform right now, Red Roof, which I have already said, at the beginning of this presentation, that gave us, some issues. This property comprises 12 units of 2-bedroom apartments with BQ. It's going to be with boys' quarters, right? It's going to be used as short-let apartments and co-living service apartments. So people can actually co-live in these apartments, and the apartments are serviced, or we can also use them as short-let apartments, which gives us above, the regular rental income, gives us medium to high yield rental income. The acquisition strategy is going to be off-plan. Delivery period is 15 months, and the investment opportunity for jointly investors is co-build and co-own. So you can partner with Symbolic Development Limited, as a co-builder on this project, or you can co-own this project, with other investors on jointly. The second one is the Aces Holiday Homes. This project is located in Ekpe, Lagos. It's a development of 25 units of three-bedroom bungalows. These bungalows are going to be used as holiday homes, and they are going to be rented out as fully serviced short-let apartments. The acquisition strategy is off plan, and it's going to take about 9 to 12 months to deliver the entire project. The opportunity to invest in this also comes in form of co-build, where you can partner on the project and earn your returns after the delivery and sale of the project, and that's it. Or you can co-own units in on this project, and then you can earn rents for the rest of your life, or for as long as you want to hold, those property shares and then sell them. Now, what we are looking at is what next. We want to hear from you. Where should we focus? What features do you want to see? And what should we improve? Now, there are two ways you can tell us, where we should focus, what features you want to see, and what we should improve on. Number one, you can put them in the chats box below as you're watching me. Or if you are going to watch this after this webinar, if you're going to watch the recorded version, we are going to also have like a chat box under the video where you can also give us your suggestions. And then we'll get the suggestions and we'll work on them. Right now, I'll take it back to TJ, and then we can take your questions while we give you answers. Thank you very much for listening.
Hi everyone, I'm back again. Hope you enjoyed that presentation I did, and I'm definitely looking forward to all of the features that are coming on. So if you have questions, now is the time to let us know. What do you want us to focus on? We've talked about a lot of things that we're going to be doing in the next 6 months, the new features we'll be launching, our investment strategy, the properties we'll be looking at, and even the properties that we'll be launching this month. So we'd want to hear from you. What do you want us to focus? What are the questions that you have for us? So kindly type them in the comments and I will show them on the screen. So if you have questions, please, now's the time to bring them forward. You guys don't have questions? Okay, I can see emojis of people clapping, but no questions yet. We got like 3 more minutes for us to talk about the questions that we have. And I'm still here to show your questions. So if you have questions, now's the time to bring them forward. It seems everybody was wild by our presentation, sir. They do
I
not have
mean, then
questions.
we'll round it up and give an opportunity to those who would watch the recording.
Okay. Okay, someone said he just joined and is looking at the new features that are coming up. So do you mind to give a recap?
I mean, that's like a whole presentation. So I think what we should do is, how long is it going to take us to have the recording up? Oh, that there are some questions coming up.
The recording will be up immediately after the session finishes. So when we end the live stream, they can always go back to our YouTube channel to watch. So Amanda 18, so you can come back to our YouTube channel jointly to watch and see the new features that will be coming up. So we talk about a lot of things, the new features, the investment strategies, and the property types that we are going to be looking at in the next few months. So you can just always keep forward to that part and even watch. So there's a question from um, someone, Grand Fortune Grandview. He said, if you have 200 unit shares and you were only able to get 100 unit shares sold, what happens? Will you still proceed or refund the investors?
Okay, so let me start with this. That is why, first of all, we are launching what we call clubs. So, what clubs are clubs, is for people who want to partner with jointly on the acquisition of properties, right? So let's say a property is worth 40 million naira or $40,000. Let me use dollars, right? Clubs goes and acquires this property, right? We use the funds from clubs to acquire this property, then we list that property on jointly, right? So if we have 200 units of shares and then there are only 100 units that have been sold, right? It means that there are still 100 units left. Now, already, as this property earns rent, the persons who have bought the 100 units are earning the rents for this property. The remaining 100 units, will be earned by the club. So it's basically coming back, to clubs, which at the end of every year, the dividends will be disbursed to members of that club, right? Now, over time, the remaining 100 units are still going to be sold. So instead of it to take 3 months, maybe it will take 6 months, maybe it will take 8 months. We don't know yet. But what happens is that clubs helps us, to cover that. And because persons who are members of the club, have a different approach, right? Their money is going to be there to help with the acquisition, and every year they are going to earn dividends until they either leave the club, or until someone else buys their membership in the club. When we launch that feature, we would explain that. There's another question, TJ. I can't hear you.
Oh, sorry, my mic was mute. The
Yeah.
second question is, how secured are our funds? Is there a legal backing, contract, insurance, etc.?
Okay, number one, how secure are your funds? First of all your funds are going into particular projects, asset-backed projects. So it's more like you buying a property. This time around, you're not spending the entire money on the property. You are spending a part of the cost of the property. Secondly, when you purchase your property, right, you are going to get a certificate of beneficial ownership, which is like a certificate showing that you own, shares in this property. And of course, it's going to be signed, by um, jointly officials. So that shows that yes, I own shares in this property. Thirdly, each property that is purchased, is insured. So in the event that something happens to the property, your money is still safe, right? So yes, that takes care of insurance. Then the legal backing jointly runs on a cooperative license, which basically gives us the license to do everything, that we do on jointly, and is regulated by the Lagos State Ministry of Cooperatives and Commerce. How secure are your funds? Generally, like I said before, generally only uses your funds on the assets that you have purchased. So if you bought property A, your money will be put on property B, right? And once we have given you the assets and the project has been delivered, you know that you own the assets. If you want to get your money back, you probably will be selling your shares in the property, to someone else. Yes, that's how your funds are secured. I hope I've been able to answer your question, Fortune.
Hi, Fortune. Hope we have been able to answer your questions. Would love to see your feedback in the comments. There's another question from somebody. Jointly needs a nap. What are
Yeah,
you
don't
doing?
all right, so yes, so we actually have thought about it, putting an app on the Play Store, and the App Store. That's Android and the iPhone App Store. But you see, what we want, what we are doing right now is to build our user base to the point where we actually have seen the need. So you can rest assured that within the next 1 year we are going to build an app so that all you need to do is take your phone, and buy properties whenever you want to. In the meantime, we are going to be using the web app, which you can also still use your phone, but you have to go through Google and all that, your web browser to access. But yes, we are working on that. And within the next 1 year, we should be able to, deliver a mobile app.
Hello, Francis. Hope that answers your question. While we still have our web app for now, we are working on having a mobile app on the Play Store and Apple Store so that you can be able to have jointly on the go wherever you are. This question is very interesting. Do you have a physical office where investors can visit to know the jointly one on one?
Yes, we do. If you check our Instagram account, our address is like there, at the top of our Instagram account. You can visit us. You can find out what we are all about. If you also want a one-on-one with any of our um, support persons, you can book a webinar or a Zoom call. Also, if you go on our website and go straight to contact us, you will see our office address, right there. I mean, yes, you can walk into our office and talk to us and then buy as many property shares as you want to.
Hi, Friday. Hope that answers your question. And I think that's all the questions for now. That's all the questions for today. Thank you all for coming to this wonderful session. It was so nice to have all of you here. And it was so nice to have you ask these questions to even show that we didn't just spend the last minutes talking about us alone. And we are glad that you all are on this journey with us. So if you are yet to sign up on Jointly, please go to www.ownjointly.com and sign up so that you can be able to partake of all of the amazing things that we have coming. And if you missed the presentation, you can always come back to our YouTube channel to have to watch the replay so that you can be able to be much more intimate with all of the things that we've had to say. So with this, we have come to the end of today's webinar. It was so amazing to have all of you here. And thank you very much, sir. Your slides were really beautiful and we love that you had the time to run us through everything that happened. So bye. Do enjoy
Bye,
the
guys.
rest of the day.
I'll see you when we all become wealthy.
Yeah, so cheers to building wealth with Jointly.